Reaching out to the right people and getting connected to influential and intelligent people has helped us do more than we ever could have done alone. Alex White, co-founder of Next Big Sound. Welcome to the Stitched for Success podcast. I am your host, Monica Allen. I'm a wife, mom, daughter, entrepreneur, author, friend, and lifelong learner. For over 8 years, I was trapped in corporate America and dreamed of escaping. I took the leap. With just $700 and an idea, we grew Zeus's Closet to a multi-million-dollar business. I have employed dozens of other people along the way. The road has not been easy. I have battle wounds, bruises, and scars to prove it. And on this podcast, I share lessons learned from my failures and successes. You will also hear from other business owners who have become stitched for success. One of the things I have enjoyed doing for the past 3 years is participating in junior achievement at my kids' school. I love junior achievement because it teaches students as young as kindergarten about money, banking, credit, and entrepreneurship. It is only a one-day event at their school, but whenever I meet a young person with an entrepreneurial or side hustler spirit, I get so excited. I want to encourage and help in any way that I can. On this week's episode, I am speaking with a young man from San Diego, California, that began his entrepreneurial journey at age 13. The young man I have on the show today is so talented. Earlier this summer, I received a message via Instagram of a song that was written and produced by him at age 13. On his first single entitled Remember My Name, he played the violin, piano, and musically engineered the rest of the instruments. Taking it even further, he completed all the steps necessary to get it streamed on multiple platforms. My guest today is Armaan Damani, and in full disclosure, we are friends with Armaan's parents, but when I heard his first single and found out all the steps it took for him to make this happen, I knew I had to have him on the show. I thought to myself, now he has an entrepreneurial spirit. And I have no idea if he wants to start his own business someday, but I know he has what it takes to do so. Armaan is now 14 and has added even more songs to his catalog. Let's jump right in and get to know more about Armaan Damani. Welcome to the Stitched for Success podcast, Armaan.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So Armaan, tell us, what led you to express yourself through music?
In the beginning, it was my parents. It all started with my parents. I started really playing music about 10 years ago. When I was 4 years old, I started playing the violin, and throughout the process of me playing the violin, I started to love music a lot more. And in around 5th and 6th grade, I started writing poetry in school, and I brought home poems to my parents, and they couldn't believe I wrote it. So they thought that if I could put together my abilities to play the violin and my ear for music with my ability to write lyrics and write poetry, that I would be able to create some pretty cool music. And I just started playing the piano and taking voice lessons a couple years ago as well, to help with my music abilities. And just now I've started to create my own original music, putting everything together and distributing it on major streaming platforms.
That's fantastic, Armaan. Let's take a quick listen to your first single, Remember My Name.
Ain't nobody appreciate what they get. They've been taking everything for granted. All everybody do is take it. Yeah, and they ain't gon' change. I don't mess with the lame. That's my claim to fame. I don't take no shame. This ain't really a game. It's my time to proclaim. When I leave this world, they'll remember my name.
Now, I know it's my understanding that you wrote, composed, played instruments on that first single. How did you pull that all together? Tell us your secret.
Um, yeah, I do write, compose, and play each instrument on my song, and I do it basically in a program called Ableton Live. It's a program where you can manipulate audio waves and play instruments into what are called audio tracks or MIDI tracks using a MIDI keyboard or a microphone.
Wow.
So basically, I started creating Remember My Name about a year ago, and when I started creating it, I was working with another sound engineer,
Okay.
and he was helping me navigate my way through the software that I now use called Ableton Live, and he was helping me put together my song, but he was basically teaching me how to use the software and how to use what's called a MIDI keyboard to play the instruments into the different tracks. So now I just set up a studio at home a couple months ago, and since I set up my studio, I put together almost 10 songs that are all unreleased, and I've pretty
Wow.
much guided myself through Ableton and learned how to use it.
That's amazing. You use so many words in that I don't even know, but I'm so impressed that you have so many songs already. So when are you due to release some other work?
Um, so basically, I have one song that's going through a process called mixing and mastering right now, which is basically it's a process where a sound engineer will get the audio wave to my song and edit the song so that it sounds balanced and you can play it on all different stereos on your phone, on your car stereo, or on really nice speakers. And basically it gets it so that all of the instruments are equal and the volumes of all the instruments are not overloading the song.
Okay.
So once that process is finished and I get the audio file to my next song, I should release it in about a month. So I'll probably have my next song out early October, late September.
That's
And
fantastic.
I'm also putting together an EP which is it's a short album, and I'm gonna release that probably sometime late October and um, early November. But
Okay.
that will contain uh, 4 songs that I've created in the last couple months, and it'll feature my song "Survive." And the one I'll release in about a month is called "Just Dance."
Oh, wow. Okay. That sounds like a fun song. I can't wait to hear it. So that first song that you released, how many downloads have you had so far?
So the first song that I released, "Remember My Name," has around 54,000 downloads now, and
Wow.
I've released 4 songs now, and my most recent song has around the same as well.
That's fantastic. That is absolutely wonderful. So now tell me a little bit, how do you balance it all? Because I know you, of course, are in school. You play a very high level of basketball. How do you balance all of that?
Yeah, so I actually started basketball when I was really young as well, and um, my parents brought me into that, but I found a love for the sport, and that's definitely one of my main activities. And I also go to a school called Bishops, which is one of the best private schools, or arguably one of the best or hardest private schools in San Diego. So it's been hard trying to balance everything between my creating my music and basketball in school, but it's been a process that's been really helpful in teaching me how to learn how to manage my time,
Okay.
and um, teaching me how to be creative and use the right and left side of my brain, and how to take care of my body, and how to eat well and be healthy and stay healthy. And it's also helped me really learn how to manage my time with school as well, and learn how I can take the courses that I need to take, whether it's an AP or honors course, and still be able to handle the workload with all my other activities.
Wow. Yeah, you have a lot going on, but it sounds like your activities are things that you're really passionate about. So we tend to make time for those things that we are really into and passionate for. So that's great. So I know you're working on releasing some new music. Tell us, where can people find your music? On what platforms?
So I have my music on around 80 different platforms now.
Oh, wow.
I released it through a distributor called CD Baby, and basically it's been a long process, and everything has been a lot harder than it seems. But basically, like, we finally got up my first song, Remember My Name, a couple months ago, and it's gotten easier now. But um, I have my song on streaming platforms such as Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, Deezer, SoundCloud, Google Play Music, TikTok, etc. I have on a lot of different
That's good. People
streaming
can
platforms,
find you wherever they need to find your music.
wherever they
So,
want.
yeah, that's fantastic. So you mentioned, it taking time, and I think that's one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you, because whenever you're in an entrepreneurial journey, things can take time. They can seem really tough in the beginning. But what would you say has been like one of your biggest challenges through this process?
One of my biggest challenges, or two of my biggest challenges, have been when I started to work with Ableton Live. It's a professional grade type of software that is mainly used by people who have been in the music industry for a long time. So when I went into this, I was mentored by one of those people, and it took me a while when I created my first song in my home studio with my own equipment, because I had to learn how to put it all together. And once I got all the equipment, I had no idea what to do with it. So it took hours and hours of like looking up on the internet, researching, um, and looking through the instruction manuals, trying to figure everything out.
Wow. Thank God for Google, right?
Yeah. Marketing has also been a hard part of my journey, because when I started, my dad made it clear to me that music is not going to be a hobby for me anymore, and that he and my mom were gonna put the time into guide me through this journey, and that they're going to put the time and the money in, and that I needed to be as committed as they were, and more committed than they were, and be willing to go and take the time and research and figure out how to market my stuff. So I started working with a PR person, and I've been marketing on a lot of different platforms, but it's also been a struggle trying to put everything together on the marketing side as well.
So I know I've worked with a PR firm before, so I know that that's definitely helpful. But what challenges are you facing with the marketing side of it? What would you say are your big challenges there?
I think the main what I mean by challenges is more like the amount of time that I have to put in.
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff is like, it's like I said before, it's like everything looks a lot easier than it actually is. And and it's like right now we're putting up a website for my brand Damani Records, and we have we're gonna have a merch line, and like an about me page and all. And before, I've been reaching out to a lot of different Spotify playlist curators, SoundCloud playlist curators, Apple Music playlist curators, and researching like several, like researching every single person that I need to reach out to, and what their background is, and how I can appeal to them in a way that they can help me out and I can help them out. And that's been just a long process, and it's been challenging trying to balance it with school and basketball, because um, because it takes a long time to do all that research and to really brand myself with my with all of the different elements of marketing that I've been working with. And it all really wouldn't have happened. It all really wouldn't have happened if my parents didn't take out the time and the money and put together my home studio. And I didn't have that much time because of, and I wouldn't have had that much time if it was during the school year, but I was able to start working on it during the summer.
That's great. Yeah, it's always helpful to have parents backing you, to have that support. So that's fantastic. And I can't wait to see where this goes. I was so excited, like I said, about the first single, and then I got another email. And so it's been great just seeing you grow into this and seeing what all you've had to do to make this happen. Because I know your parents are helpful, but they can't sing it for you. They can't play the instruments for you. They can't do those things. Yeah. So you're putting a lot into it, and I'm very proud of you for that. Well, I'm not going to keep you. I know you just actually ran in from basketball practice and took a quick shower to hop on this call with me. So I really do appreciate it. I appreciate the time. I'm super proud of you, and I appreciate you sharing. And I hope that this will be an inspiration for some other young people as well. Thank you so much, Armaan.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I really enjoyed my interview with Armaan. He's only 14, but is having many of the same challenges that even us seasoned entrepreneurs face. Work life, or in his case, work, school, and life balance, marketing challenges, trying to network and connect with the right people. All of those things he is already learning to navigate. He is truly blessed to have supportive parents and to have the will to do the research and connect. Armaan's latest single, Falling Down, will take us out today. Please check it out on any of the many platforms he mentioned in our talk together. Thank you so much for joining me on the Stitch for Success podcast today. I truly have a love and passion for all things small business. So if you are a budding entrepreneur or just thinking about starting your own business, or if you have been running your business for a few years, I want to help you. So I would love if you could follow me on Instagram at Stitched for Success. Each morning I post an inspirational quote to get your day going and off to a wonderful start. Also, I would love if you would subscribe and rate this podcast. Please share it with a friend. If you have any questions or thoughts, please direct message me via Instagram. It's always a pleasure to have you listen in. Have a great one.
I wasn't going insane, I didn't know to explain whether I wanted that black or white, plaid or striped, happy life or hype, whether I wanted the same thing, was it all for the dream? All I knew was that I wanted to stay there at home, where I wasn't alone, but I got too comfortable, couldn't get in my zone, I was living a story foretold, I got stepped on and wet, so I had to go and get me some respect.